Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this very special video. In today's video, we are going to talk about Dexter Lumis. Dexter Lumis made his presence felt last night on Raw and it was fantastic. There was a car crash. He was being dragged away by security, all played out in the background as well. It was so cool, so well done. And I'm really excited because I really like Dexter Lumis. I've enjoyed watching him in NXT, but I had so many people getting in touch with me saying that they don't watch NXT and they don't know who Dexter Lumis is. This felt like the right video to make today. So what we're going to do is we're just going to hit the key points from NXT. We're just going to have a little overview of his NXT career just to bring everybody up to speed. So with that being said, let's get stuck into it. Dexter Lumis's real name is Sam Shaw, and he competed in NWA. I believe he's competed in Impact as well. And he signed with NXT in early 2019. So he signed as Sam Shaw. He didn't have the Dexter Lumis character by this point. And he worked on house shows as Sam Shaw. And by the time we get to around the middle of 2019, that's when he's given the Dexter Lumis name. That's when he's got the Dexter Lumis character. Now, the Dexter Lumis character is someone that's very mysterious, kind of hangs around in the shadows. He's someone that will quite happily kidnap people. He really is a bit of a psychopath, and he doesn't talk, but he has an interesting way to communicate, and we will talk about that in a bit. So he makes his first real appearance in the 2019 Breakout Tournament, and this, as we said, is one of the first times that we would really get a chance to see him. He's got a really difficult first-round opponent, though, and that is Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed, his first-round opponent, and unfortunately, Dexter Lumis is not successful. Now, he would continue to compete and have matches, but he would not really be seen until early 2020. And in early 2020, we would get a vignette, and this vignette would really kind of mark the arrival of Dexter Lumis for real. And this was quite interesting. It's him like in the shadows, and it really gets across his character. It's a really good vignette if you ever get a chance to see it. He then obviously is up and running and starts having matches, and he really does start helping the Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream is in a feud with the Undisputed Era and obviously outnumbered, and so Dexter Lumis tries to help him out. So Dexter Lumis has kind of really got himself across as a face and trying to do the right thing, if you will. And so he needs to communicate. He needs to kind of be a part of the build here. It's going to be the Velveteen Dream against Adam Cole at In Your House. And Dexter Lumis makes his intentions known by drawing. He draws what he intends to do. This is one of the main ways that he communicates. So he is saying here that in your house, he is going to kidnap the members of Undisputed Era, and he's going to even up the score. He's going to make sure that it is one-on-one Velveteen Dream taking on Adam Cole, and not all the other members of Undisputed Era attacking Velveteen Dream like what had been happening. And he is a man of his word, because at In Your House, he does kidnap Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong, shoves them in the back of a car, and drives away. And unfortunately, Adam Cole would still be successful. But this obviously allowed Dexter Lumis to then get an opportunity at Adam Cole. Sadly, he would lose that match thanks to outside interference. He was doing very, very well. He may even have gone on to have won the match, but outside interference by Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish meant that Dexter Lumis did lose. He would have a few more matches after this, including one against Roderick Strong, but he would pick up an ankle injury, and sadly he would be out for a few months. When he returned, he was no longer feuding with Undisputed Era. Instead, he would start his next feud, which was against Cameron Grimes. There's an image on screen here from Halloween Havoc 2020. This is the Haunted House of Terrors match. And if you've never seen it, again, check it out. Around this time, we're getting a lot of cinematic matches. This one, as we said, is in a haunted house. And I'm not sure that we would look to do this kind of stuff now. I mean, we might do. But I think this is very much a lockdown thing. But yeah, this is a match that Dexter Lumis would win against Cameron Grimes. And they would continue to feud all the way up till War Games. And at War Games, they would have a strap match. And I can tell you Dexter Lumis would win here as well. And that would be the end, really, of that feud. But I think the one feud that people remember the most, the one that had the biggest impact, the one that probably people talk about the most, is his feud with The Way. And that would start in early 2021. This was the next feud that he would move on to. So The Way is a faction. It's Johnny Gargano, it's Theory, it's Indi Hartwell, it's Candice LeRae. That is The Way. And he would start a feud with these guys, and they were so much fun because they tried to take themselves really serious, but they were always doing silly things. And their reactions were so big that, you know, if they were angry, they were really angry. If they were happy, they were really happy. And there's a lot of humour to be found in all of that, and their segments were fantastic. So here you can see that Dexter, who was feuding with Johnny, has kidnapped Theory. He kidnaps Theory here, drags him away. All the members of The Way desperately trying to find him, and it all leads to a match, of course. And Lumis would actually win. Lumis beat Johnny Gargano in a match, and quite a few things would come out of this match. This is still early 2021, and as we said, quite a few things would come out of this. First of all, Indi Hartwell would start to get feelings for Dexter Lumis. Like, they were, like, bad-mouthing him backstage. And Indi was like, actually, I think he's kind of cute. And you can see Candice LeRae's reaction to that. Johnny as well, who's just off screen, is also freaking out at this news that one of their fellow faction members is now getting a crush on this psychopath. So Indi was starting to get a crush. And Theory, even though he'd been kidnapped, actually started thinking that Dexter Lumis was all right. He was just misunderstood. So Johnny Gargano said that Theory was going to have to go to therapy, and there's like therapy sessions that are really fun, therapy vignettes that Theory has to go through. So yeah, this really starts causing problems for The Way in lots of different ways. It all leads to a big match, and this match is The Way against Dexter, Bronson Reed, and then the current women's tag champs, which was Shotzi and Ember Moon. And this is a really interesting match. It's a really important match, actually, because Indi at one point thinks she's about to get a kiss. Her feelings are completely out of control by this point. So she just wants to be with Dexter. And so at one point she thinks she's about to kiss him. That doesn't work for her. So what she decides to do is she decides to faint. So she faints and hopes that he's going to, like, take her off for medical attention. And it works. He does. He picks her up and carries her away. So, yeah, you can see there, big smile on her face. And this would actually be the start of these characters getting into a relationship, believe it or not. This is very strange for Dexter. I mean, Dexter up to this point has been like a silent killer, and now here he is in like a love story. But the NXT crowds were absolutely loving this. When you watch this play out over the weeks, it is a story that you kind of looked forward to seeing what was going to happen next. So, yeah, he takes her off. They start seeing each other. They get into a relationship called Index. Indi, Dexter, Index. Yeah, Index. They have their own merch as well. And you can see Johnny still not quite on board with Dexter being in a relationship with one of the members of his faction. So lots of humour to be had there. But all of this would just keep getting more and more serious. And on the August 17th episode of NXT in 2021, Indi Hartwell would propose to Dexter Lumis. And he didn't say yes, he nodded. He doesn't talk, so he nodded. And that was good enough. So the wedding was on. So yeah, we would actually get the wedding on an episode of NXT. And actually, not just any episode of NXT. The first episode of NXT 2.0, the main event, the thing that closes the first ever episode of NXT 2.0 is the wedding of Dexter Lumis and Indi Hartwell. And by this point, Johnny is on board with Dexter. He's still not totally comfortable around him. He still doesn't totally trust him. But I think he's just happy that his friend is happy. And Theory is totally on board. Theory, I think, from the moment he was kidnapped, thought that he was an all right guy. Yeah, it's fun. Again, more fun to be had here. During this, we would find out that his middle name is Gaylord. And he would also speak for the very first time. He, of course, would be required to say, "I do." Everyone was waiting to see if he was going to say it, and he does. He leans forward and he says, "I do," into the microphone. There's a massive cheer from the audience. This is, I don't know, you're looking at around 2 years, and he's not said a word, and the first words that he says is, "I do." And it was great. It was really, really good, and it closes the first ever episode of NXT 2.0. In the following weeks, we get honeymoon vignette. This is kind of fun. Johnny is trying to keep an eye on them, so he's spying on them. He dresses up as like a shark in the water, and he makes sure that he's in the room next door and all this kind of stuff. So, again, lots of comedy in these kind of segments, and it is a bit strange that Dexter's involved in all of this stuff, and I don't know that they will involve him in this kind of stuff when he goes to the main roster. But it worked, and a lot of people are desperate to see Indi on the main roster with Dexter, now that Dexter is on the main roster as well. So I don't know that we will, and to be honest, I don't think we should yet. I think we should at some point, but I think right now it's probably right that he just gets over as the psychopath. I don't think we need Indi to be around, but definitely when she comes up, it will be interesting, because technically, as far as I know, they haven't got divorced. So as far as I know, they are still married. So yeah, this was at the end of 2021. Obviously, because NXT 2.0 was all about the stars of the future and kind of a brand new roster of people, we didn't really see much of Dexter or Indi. They were doing their honeymoon thing, and so we didn't really see them. And then news obviously broke about the releases, and sadly in April of 2022, Dexter Lumis would find himself being released. So along with some other big names, I mean, Dakota Kai, who just came back, she was released around the same time as well. So obviously it looked like that was the end of his story and his time with WWE. But thankfully not to be the case, because of course last night in the crowd, Dexter Lumis was being dragged away by security guards. And obviously last night people wanted to know what Indi Hartwell thought about this. She sent a tweet out, very simple tweet, and just a thumbs up, and that's all it needed. You can see over 12,000 likes on that. Just a simple thumbs up from Indi Hartwell. So yeah, I mean, look, so much to get excited about here. I can definitely see his backstage promos being the draw-ins. I can definitely see that. I can see him terrorizing and kidnapping. I can definitely see him doing that on the main roster as well. And then I think his relationship with Theory is going to be very interesting. They were good friends. Theory was the person that was meant to bring the rings for the wedding, so it's not like there's any issue there. I don't even know if they will acknowledge it. I don't know if they'll acknowledge any of that, or if this will just be a complete brand new start for him, but I feel like it should have a continuation. I think for those of us that watched him for a couple of years in NXT, I don't think now you can ignore the fact he got married and all of that kind of stuff. So I think when Indi comes up, because surely she will, she's a great talent. They've got to do something there. And I'm excited. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see how they're going to use him. But as I said, in the short term, definitely get him over as a psychopath. Get him over as someone that's in the shadows, that's a bit of a loner, that doesn't talk, communicates through the drawings. This is going to be a lot of fun. There's no one on the main roster like this. This is going to be good. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I really appreciate you spending time and watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I will see you again next time. Bye for now.